Hello. Parashat Noach begins with the famous pasuk, Ele toledot Noach, Noach ish tzadik, tamim haya bedorotav. And afterwards it says, Vayoled Noach shlosha banim, et Shem et Cham ve'et Yafet. And there's a famous question. If the Torah starts, Ele toledot Noach, this is the lineage of Noach, so why doesn't it immediately move to Noach's children? Why does it start praising Noach? Noach ish tzadik, tamim haya bedorotav. This is the famous question, and Rashi gives two answers to this question. We'll deal with the second answer. And the second answer that Rashi gives is she'ikar toldoteihem shel tzadikim ma'asim tovim. The major lineage, or maybe we could change the word here to legacy of tzadikim, is not their children, but rather their good deeds, their good actions. And on one level, this is a very important lesson for those that have children, to realize that their children are not them, that there's a difference between parents and their children. A person could say, what is my major legacy? The children that do will continue my way. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. They're their own personality. They do as they wish. So we try to grow them, we try to educate them in a certain way. But at the end, the children stand on their own. They're their own person. They have their own identity. When does a person actually do something that is completely themselves? That's their good deeds. That's their ma'asim tovim. And I think that's also important for people that don't always succeed in bringing children to the world. So Rashi tells us, Rashi consoles them, and he says, Ikar toldotehem shel tzadikim ma'asim tovim. The major influence that people have on the world is their good actions, is their good deeds. Even without children, a person can have great impact and have a great legacy. As we see some great examples, like Nechama Leibovich, that her influence on the world was huge, and Litzarenu, she didn't have any children of her own. But the Sfat Emet goes even deeper in the words of Rashi. And he says that Rashi emphasizes the idea that Ikar toldotehem shel tzadikim, the legacy of the righteous is their ma'asim tovim. But others, it could have just said Ikar toladot ma'asim tovim. The legacy, the lineage of a person is their good deeds. Why does Rashi emphasize the fact that it's tzadikim? And says the Sfat Emet that people do many good things, but it's not theirs. We do things many times without identifying with what we do completely. And if we want to have a real impact, if you want to change something, if you want something to be to influence things in a certain way, to lead the world, to help educate or change our surroundings, our family, our community, our country, it has to be from a place where we do something with full identification, wholeheartedly. And tzaddikim do things wholeheartedly. And therefore we can say about tzaddikim, Ikar toldoteihem shel tzaddikim ma'asim tovim. Because when they do something, it's completely theirs. It's their heritage. It's their legacy that we're going in their light. Other people do good deeds, and maybe they're continuing someone else's light. Maybe they're doing the right thing, but it's not their personality. And the tzaddikim manage to do things and bring their personality into it. And that is how they help lead the world turn the world into a better place. I think in the week of the elections, this is something important to remember. Yes, and the elections are very important. We go out there and we try to influence the world. I think that for many people, elections are not something that we do completely wholeheartedly. Not always people identify completely with what they put in the ballot. Whatever we believe, whatever we think is the best thing to do, we'll do, but we don't always feel we completely identify with it. I think we can take this idea of Noach and do it over the Bechirot. Yes, how do we influence the world? There's a way of influencing the world through elections, and that's an important way of doing it. But the major impact that we can have on changing things in a way that we want and the way that we can identify with is through Masim Tovim, is through doing things, good things, in a good way, wholeheartedly. When we identify with it, we put our personality and our hearts into things that we think are important, and that, Be'ezrat Hashem, will help influence a society even more. Shabbat Shalom.